Alright, another flight on this fantastic looking, fantastic flying little Volantex Ranger 600. It is the 4-channel version. So I'm real happy that they came out with a four-channel version of this plane. Alright, so one thing that I didn't test in the maiden flight video was the auto launch and loiter feature. So if I remember correctly, and I read through the documentation twice, okay, so you want to arm the motor. Alright, there's the motor armed. Make sure we got throttle. Alright, we do. Alright, with the throttle in the down position, you know, not actuating the motor, the throttle at 0, you're supposed to push the stunt button. And you need to have the throttle at 0, otherwise it's going to think you want to do a loop or a roll with it, you know, a stunt with it. So you want the throttle to be 0, and then you want to press the stunt button, okay, and then full throttle. Okay, I guess you need a little bit better upward angle than that. Alright, I'm bringing it back. It did the auto takeoff, but I thought it was supposed to loiter. Motor's off. I'm just gliding. I just want to see how it glides. Alright, put in some motor. Get out of the sun. Motor's off. Look at that glide. Completely off. Okay, I'm going to put in a little bit of motor. Alright, so I don't know, the auto launch feature, I didn't like it, but it's so easy to launch. This plane is just so easy to launch. I just give it 60% throttle, but we'll try a manual launch in the next flight at 50% throttle, because I think 50% throttle is plenty for launching it, and a moderate chuck with a slightly upward angle. And look at that. Look at how well behaved that is. Now this is a very, very lightweight plane. My all-up weight with the stock battery is just under 70 grams. I don't know. I do not know how they manage that. But it is light. And it's not like they didn't put any carbon reinforcement in it. I'm sure there's carbon reinforcement in the fuselage, but there's also carbon reinforcement in the main wing. There's carbon reinforcement in the ailerons. Well, it's either carbon or plastic. I don't know which it is, but what a great little beginner plane. This is really an easy to fly plane. I love the fact that you can fly this so slowly. It gives a beginner plenty of time to determine what they need to do on the sticks, you know? Look at that. And that is downwind. Okay, we're turning upwind now. And you know, the controls are pretty smooth even with the stock transmitter. I don't know if you can bind up to this with the multi-protocol transmitter. I'm not sure what protocol they're using. I don't know if they're using the V761 protocol, but after this flight I will be testing it out and see if I can bind up to it with the TX16S, and then we'll perform some flights on it with the TX16S. But man, that is that's smooth. An absolute beginner is not going to have any problems flying this plane really well with the stock transmitter. Look at that. How docile is that? You know? That is so docile. Give it just a little bit of throttle in the turns to maintain your altitude. Isn't that a great looking plane too? I mean, I love the color on this. Black with the gray, white, and the green. You know, when you're not flying directly into the sun, it's a pretty visible airframe. See that tight turn there? A little bit of aileron, a little bit of rudder. That was not full aileron, full rudder. But look how tight, and look how small of an area. Look how small of an area you could fly this in. And how slowly. Look at that. Man, that is definitely a powered glider. This is a great plane. If you're wanting to introduce your kids, grandkids, the neighbor kids, your niece, nephew, whoever, in RC aircraft, I think this would be a really good plane to start them out with, man. Because you can turn it bank and yank. They really don't even have to worry about a rudder. That I'm just doing bank and yank. And look, it's making a nice coordinated turn without any rudder input. I'll have to look at it when I come back down on the ground. I don't think that it has any rudder mixing in it, but I can't swear to it. We'll have to look at it when I bring it back. But I'm just doing, and my timer's elapsed already. All right, let me turn off my timer. I had my timer set for 6 minutes, but I just wanted to come out and demonstrate. You know, we demonstrated all the functions on it in the maiden flight except for the auto launch feature, and I don't care for the auto launch feature, but I really don't care for the stunt buttons either. But I love having a little plane like this that you could just cruise around in. Now I've got the throttle set at about 45%. I think this thing will cruise around at about 40% throttle, so I'm not even touching the throttle stick. All I'm doing is inputting aileron, and that's the only thing I'm doing. No elevator, just aileron. So yeah, this is going to be an awesome, absolutely fantastic beginner plane. There is a link to it in the show notes. There is an exclusive link and an exclusive coupon code that's supposed to bring the price of this down to $112, but I think for what you get at the $139 price, that is the price straight out of the gate, I think it's a steal as a beginner plane, because it's so stable. It's very predictable. It's so easy to fly. I'm still just using aileron here, guys. I'm not doing anything but inputting aileron. That's all I'm doing. I haven't seen very many beginner planes that you could do this with. You know what I'm saying? It's so tiny, it's so light. It looks great. Now, I don't know if the $112 price, there's a 2 battery version, which is the version that I received. This is courtesy of Banggood. I want to thank them much for sending this to review. This is one of the absolute best, if not the best, beginner plane that I have flown so far. And so I don't know if the $112 price is the 2 battery version. I would assume that's what it is, but because there's also a 3 battery version, and the 3 battery version is only like $2 more. It's $139 for the 2 battery version, and I think $141 for the 3 battery version. So only $2 for additional battery, and believe me, you're going to want it. You're going to want an additional battery. So, but I think it's a steal at that price, considering the fact that it comes fully assembled. You don't have to do anything other than put 4 AA batteries in the transmitter, charge up your flight batteries, and you're ready to take it out and launch it. And it doesn't get any easier than that. Okay, so now that I've gone way past my timer, let's go ahead and bring it in and land it. But I am really impressed with this little plane. I'm going to bring it over the dirt here, and then I'm just going to cut off the motor and glide it. Oh man, that is so easy. That is so easy. That is so darn easy. That is a fantastic little plane, man. I highly recommend this plane. As far as beginner planes, I don't think that I have flown a beginner plane that is this easy to fly. That's tremendous. They did a fantastic job on that. And I had taken several looks at the 3-channel version of this plane, which is a white version. But I really wasn't all that interested in just a 3-channel plane. And since, let me test that out and see with the ailerons if there's any rudder mixing. There isn't, guys. There's no rudder mixing. Let me put in some throttle and then test it. There's no rudder mixing with the aileron. So it's making nice coordinated turns with just aileron. And like I said, if I put the throttle stick at about 45% throttle, my guess is it'll cruise around at 40% throttle, because it was gaining altitude just ever so slightly. But the only thing that I was doing was inputting aileron for left and right turn. I wasn't even touching the throttle stick. I wasn't touching the elevator. I wasn't touching the rudder, and it was making nice coordinated turns. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an easier to fly beginner plane than this one. Alright, so stay tuned. I'm going to be putting a lot more flights on this plane. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.